What if I told you that every success, every failure, every joy, and every hardship in your life began with a single thought? Not luck, not chance, a thought. James Allen's As a Man Thinketh is one of the shortest books you'll ever hear, yet it holds the power to completely rewrite your life. For over a century, its message has inspired leaders, entrepreneurs, and everyday people to rise above their circumstances by mastering the only thing they truly control: their mind. In the next few minutes, you'll discover why the quality of your thoughts shapes the quality of your life, and how a simple shift in thinking can change your destiny. If you've ever felt stuck, limited, or held back, this may be the moment that changes everything. Chapter 1. Thought and Character. A man is literally what he thinks, his character being the complete sum of all his thoughts. James Allen. From the moment you wake up in the morning, your mind begins shaping the day ahead. Whether you realize it or not, your thoughts are constantly building or breaking the person you're becoming. James Allen opens As a Man Thinketh with a clear, uncompromising truth. You are the sum of your thoughts, not your circumstances, not your background, not even your current abilities, but the persistent stream of thoughts running through your mind every single day. The silent architect of character. Think of your mind as an architect and your thoughts as the blueprints. The structure it builds is your character, who you are at your core. If those blueprints are filled with confidence, integrity, and vision, your building will stand tall and strong. But if they're filled with fear, resentment, and doubt, the structure becomes weak, unstable, and easily damaged by life's storms. In other words, your inner world is constantly constructing your outer reality. A disciplined mind leads to disciplined behavior. A chaotic mind leads to chaotic results. Modern example: the social media mirror. Today, this truth is more visible than ever. Scroll through social media and you'll see it in action. People who constantly focus on negativity begin to post negativity, speak negativity, and attract negativity. Those who focus on learning, gratitude, and opportunity, their feeds, their conversations, and their lives reflect that same energy. Your mind is like a content algorithm. Whatever you feed it, it shows you more of. You can't hide your thinking. Allen makes a bold claim. You cannot hide your thoughts. Even if you never speak them out loud, they show in your face, your posture, your choices, and your habits. Your thoughts leak into your actions, and your actions define your reputation. In the workplace, for example, someone who constantly thinks, "I'm not good enough," will eventually work slower, avoid responsibility, and miss opportunities. Without even real thought as cause, character as effect. Allen teaches that thought is the cause, and character is the effect. You cannot plant weeds and expect roses to grow. Similarly, you cannot fill your mind with anger, jealousy, and fear and expect to develop a calm, confident, and courageous character. The process works in both directions. Positive, empowering thoughts, strong, reliable character. Negative, destructive thoughts, weak, unreliable character. Real-life illustration: Elon Musk versus the odds. Consider Elon Musk in the early days of SpaceX. In 2008, the company had failed 3 rocket launches in a row, and bankruptcy seemed inevitable. Most people in his position would have thought, it's over. But Musk's thinking pattern was different. We will find a way. That belief shaped his actions, his persistence, and his character. And on the 4th launch, SpaceX succeeded, securing a NASA contract and changing the space industry forever. This isn't about luck. It's about thought creating character, and character producing results. Your mind is a garden. Allen famously compares the mind to a garden. If you plant seeds of positive, purposeful thought and care for them daily, they will grow into habits that define a successful life. If you neglect your garden, weeds, fear, self-doubt, resentment will grow automatically. The question is, are you a careful gardener, or are you letting anything grow in your mental soil? Daily Thought Audit. In today's busy, distracted world, the key is to pause and take a thought audit. Ask yourself, 1. What have I been thinking about most today? 2. Are these thoughts building me or breaking me? 3. If my character is the result of these thoughts, do I like where I'm headed? The answers will tell you whether you need to change the blueprints your inner architect is working from. Your thoughts are the blueprints. Your character is the building. Negative thinking weakens character. Positive thinking strengthens it. Your thoughts always show themselves in your actions. Change your thoughts, and you begin to change your destiny. C. Closing of Chapter 1. The truth is unavoidable. You are today where your thoughts have brought you, and you will be tomorrow where your thoughts take you. This is not a reason for guilt, it's a reason for hope. Because if your current character is the result of past thinking, then your future character is in the hands of the thoughts you choose right now. In the next chapter, we'll see how these thoughts don't just shape who you are, they directly shape what happens to you in life. Chapter 2. Effect of Thought on Circumstances. A man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. James Allen. If Chapter 1 taught us that thought shapes character, this chapter takes it a step further. Thought shapes circumstances. Your external world is not a random series of events. It's a reflection of your inner world. Welcome. Your outer life mirrors your inner life. James Allen's core message here is simple but profound. We attract into our lives the circumstances that match the dominant thoughts in our minds. If your thinking is filled with purpose, discipline, and vision, your life will gradually align with those qualities. If your thinking is filled with fear, laziness, and resentment, your life will reflect that as well. This isn't magic. It's not about wishing something into existence. It's about the reality that your beliefs drive your actions, and your actions create your circ. Modern analogy, GPS for your life. Think of your mind like the GPS in your phone. Whatever destination you program, success, failure, wealth, health, or struggle, your thoughts will guide your actions toward that location, step by step. If you set your GPS to "I can't do it," you'll unconsciously make choices that lead to giving up. If you set it to "I will find a way," you'll notice opportunities, push through obstacles, and keep moving forward. The GPS doesn't care what address you enter. It simply takes you there. Why people stay stuck? Some people believe they are victims of fate or bad luck, but Allen challenges this idea. While unexpected events happen to everyone, how we respond and the thoughts we nurture after those events determines whether we stay stuck or rise again. For example, two people lose their jobs. One thinks, "This always happens to me. I'll never find another one." They stop trying and remain unemployed for months. The other thinks, "This is my chance to do something better." They update their skills, network, and land a better opportunity. The difference isn't in circumstance, it's in thought. All right, self-created circumstances. Allen explains that even when life hands us difficulty, our thoughts can transform the outcome. Persistent negative thinking turns small setbacks into major defeats. Persistent positive, solution-focused thinking turns challenges into stepping stones. Your outer life is like a reflection in a mirror. You can't change it directly. To change what you see, you must change what's in front of the mirror, your thoughts. OH. Real-life illustration, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey was born into poverty, faced abuse as a child, and endured more hardship by age 14 than many face in a lifetime. Yet she chose to believe in education, self-worth, and possibility. That mindset didn't erase her challenges, but it shaped her responses, guided her actions, and gradually transformed her life circumstances from rural poverty to becoming one of the most influential women in the world. Circumstances reveal, not create character. Alan makes a sharp observation. Circumstances don't create who you are. They reveal who you are. When pressure comes, it shows the quality of your thinking. If your thoughts are strong and disciplined, difficulty brings out resilience. If your thoughts are weak and scattered, difficulty brings out panic or defeat. This is why two people in identical situations can have completely different outcomes. From complaint to control, the fastest way to stay trapped in bad circumstances is to complain about them. The fastest way to change them is to accept responsibility for your thinking. Ask yourself, what thoughts am I repeating about this situation? Are they leading me to action or keeping me in place? If my life a year from now is the result of my current thinking, will I like the result? Mid-chapter recap. Your life circumstances mirror your dominant thoughts. Thoughts act like a GPS, guiding your actions toward a destination. Circumstances reveal, rather than create, character. Changing your thoughts is the starting point for changing your life. Closing of chapter. Alan's message is empowering. You are not a prisoner of circumstance. You are the creator of it. While you cannot control every event, you can control the thoughts that shape your responses, and those responses shape your future. Chapter 3. Effective Thought on Health and the Body. The body is the servant of the mind. James Allen. If your thoughts can shape your character and circumstances, it should come as no surprise that they also influence your physical health. James Allen's insight here is both simple and profound. The body reflects the state of the mind. The mind-body connection. Science today calls it the mind-body connection, but Allen understood it over a century ago. Persistent stress, anxiety, and resentment don't just exist in your head. They manifest physically. They can drain your energy, disturb your sleep, weaken your immune system, and accelerate aging. Likewise, thoughts of peace, gratitude, and purpose can relax the body, improve immunity, and promote longevity. Your body listens to every thought you think. Modern example, stress at work. Think of someone trapped in a toxic work environment. Day after day, they carry thoughts like, "I can't take this anymore," and "this is hopeless." Over time, their shoulders tighten, headaches become frequent, sleep quality drops, and digestion suffers. Now imagine another person in a similar role who thinks, "I can handle this. It's temporary. I'm finding solutions." Their physical response is completely different. Their breathing is calmer, tension is lower, and their body recovers more quickly from stress. Same job, different thoughts, different physical outcomes. How negative thinking damages the body. Allen warns that negative emotions are like slow poison. Fear keeps the body in constant fight or flight, draining the nervous system. Anger floods the bloodstream with stress hormones that damage the heart and blood vessels. Worry tightens muscles, disrupts digestion, and keeps the immune system on high alert, leaving it exhausted. Left unchecked, these states lead to chronic illness, then positive thinking and physical renewal. This isn't about ignoring real problems. It's about choosing a thought pattern that supports health while you face those problems. Thoughts of courage, serenity, and optimism trigger the body's repair systems. Heart rate lowers, blood pressure stabilizes, muscles relax, energy becomes available for healing rather than constant defense. Real-life illustration, Norman Cousins. In the 1960s, writer Norman Cousins was diagnosed with a painful, life-threatening illness. His prognosis was poor, but he decided to test the power of positive emotion. He watched comedy films, read uplifting books, and surrounded himself with joy and gratitude. Against medical expectations, his condition improved dramatically, and he later documented the experience in his best-selling book, Anatomy of an Illness. While laughter wasn't a magic cure, his mental state clearly supported his body's healing process. Your thoughts leave physical traces. Think about it. A person who regularly cultivates patience, kindness, and joy often looks different. Their face is relaxed, their eyes are brighter, their movements are smoother. Someone who regularly cultivates bitterness or rage often carries tension in their body, shows early signs of aging, and experiences more illness. Over time, your habitual thoughts carve patterns into your physical being. Practical health habit. Mental hygiene. We're taught to brush our teeth daily, wash our hands, and care for our bodies. But how often are we taught to clean our minds? Daily mental hygiene could include morning gratitude practice, mindful breathing during stress, consciously reframing negative self-talk, ending the day with positive reflection instead of worry. These habits don't just improve mood, they improve physical resilience. Amen. Mid-chapter recap. The mind and body are deeply connected. Negative thoughts weaken and exhaust the body. Positive, peaceful thoughts support healing and longevity. Your physical state reflects your mental habits. Closing of chapter. Alan's message is clear. You cannot think your way to perfect health, but you can think your way toward better health. The body serves the mind, and by mastering your thoughts, you can give your body the conditions it needs to thrive. Chapter 4. Thought and Purpose. Until thought is linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment. James Allen. A river without banks flows aimlessly, spreading out and losing its strength. In the same way, the human mind without a clear purpose wastes its energy, drifting from one idea to another without creating anything lasting. James Allen's message in this chapter is direct. Purpose gives thought direction and power. I shall say, the power of a fixed goal. It's not enough to think positively. Your thoughts must be anchored to a specific purpose. Without it, even the most optimistic mindset will scatter its energy across too many distractions. Purpose acts like a focusing lens, channeling your mental energy into a single, powerful beam, capable of accomplishing great things. Modern analogy: the laser versus the flashlight. A flashlight spreads light in all directions. It's helpful, but weak. A laser concentrates light into a narrow beam, and that beam can cut through steel. Your thoughts work the same way. Without purpose, scattered energy, low impact. With purpose, concentrated energy, high impact. The danger of drifting. Allen warns that people without purpose become like ships without a rudder. They may move, but they move in circles. They're easily swayed by circumstances, by other people's opinions, or by the changing winds of mood and motivation. They often say things like, "I'm just seeing where life takes me." The problem is, life will take you somewhere, but not necessarily somewhere you want to be. Purpose in action. Elon Musk's multi-decade vision. Elon Musk's vision for SpaceX isn't simply build rockets. It's to make humanity a multi-planetary species. That purpose drives every decision, every innovation, and every risk he takes. Even when faced with massive setbacks, that fixed purpose keeps him moving forward. Without it, the company's early failures could have ended the mission entirely. How to find your purpose. Not everyone's purpose is as grand as colonizing Mars, and that's okay. Your purpose may be building a stable and loving family, creating a business that solves a problem you care about, mastering a skill that inspires others, serving your community in a meaningful way. The key is to choose something and commit to it. Purpose can evolve over time, but without one, you remain in a cycle of distraction and indecision. Purpose builds discipline. When your thoughts are linked to purpose, discipline becomes easier. You're less tempted by short-term pleasures that take you off track. For example, A student with the purpose of becoming a doctor will study when others party, not because they have to, but because they are guided by a vision of saving lives in the future. Onyx, From Purpose to Achievement. Alan emphasizes that all achievement begins with a purpose and is sustained by unwavering thought directed toward that purpose. This means 1. Choosing a clear and definite goal. 2. Aligning your thoughts with that goal daily. 3. Removing thoughts and activities that don't serve the goal. Over time, this mental alignment produces tangible results. The enemy of purpose: indecision. Indecision is like rust on the machinery of the mind. It slows progress and eventually causes breakdown. Every time you change your mind about your direction, you lose momentum. This doesn't mean you can't adjust your strategy, but your purpose should remain steady while your methods adapt. Real-life illustration: J.K. Rowling's persistence. Before publishing Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling faced years of rejection from publishers. Her purpose wasn't write a book. It was to share the magical world she had envisioned and believed in. That fixed purpose kept her rewriting, submitting, and pushing forward despite repeated setbacks. Eventually, her work became one of the most successful book series in history. Daily purpose alignment. Alan suggests making your purpose part of your daily mental routine. Ask yourself each morning, what is my purpose? What can I think and do today that moves me closer to it? This small act keeps your mental laser focused. Mid-chapter recap. Purpose gives thought direction and power. Without purpose, energy is scattered and achievement is limited. Purpose builds discipline and resilience. Your strategies can change. Your purpose should remain steady. Closing of chapter. Alan's wisdom here is timeless. To accomplish anything meaningful, you must link your thoughts to a clear and steady purpose. Without it, you are a ship drifting on an open sea. With it, you become a vessel moving steadily toward your chosen destination, regardless of the winds and tides. Chapter 5. The Thought Factor in Achievement. All that a man achieves, and all that he fails to achieve, is the direct result of his own thoughts. James Allen. Every great success story begins long before the first visible result. It begins in the invisible realm, the mind. James Allen makes it clear: achievement is not luck, talent, or even opportunity alone. It is the product of persistent, focused thought. Section 2. Achievement is an inside job. If you look at any person who has accomplished something meaningful, you'll find that the victory was first won in their mind. They believed it could be done, envisioned the path forward, and disciplined their thoughts. Allen argues that failure is just as much a product of thought as success. Negative, doubtful, or unfocused thinking produces half-hearted action, and half-hearted action produces poor results. Modern example: startups and mindset. Consider the world of tech startups. Two founders may have the same funding, the same market, and the same resources. The one who consistently thinks, "We will figure this out," will test, adapt, and push forward until success is found. The one who thinks, "This probably won't work," will give up after a few setbacks. The external conditions are the same, but the internal conditions decide the outcome. Okay, the 3 mental ingredients of achievement. Allen highlights 3 qualities that shape achievement. 1. Clarity of vision. Know exactly what you want to accomplish. Vague goals produce vague results. 2. Steadfastness of purpose. Keep your mind fixed on the goal, even when results are slow. 3. Self-discipline. Refuse to let distractions, emotions, or comfort pull you off track. When these 3 are consistently present in thought, achievement becomes a natural byproduct. Real-life illustration: Serena Williams. Serena Williams didn't become one of the greatest tennis players in history simply because of physical talent. From a young age, she visualized herself as a champion, held a clear goal, and trained with relentless focus. Even after injuries and setbacks, her mental discipline kept her returning to the court until she reached and maintained the top of her sport. The role of persistence. Allen warns against the illusion of overnight success. In reality, achievement is built through small, repeated efforts, guided by determined thinking. A mind that quits after a setback will never achieve mastery. A mind that treats setbacks as feedback and keeps moving forward will eventually break through. Failure is mental training. One of Allen's most powerful ideas is that so-called failure is not wasted if it sharpens your thinking. Every obstacle is a test of mental strength. Did you maintain focus on the goal? Did you use the setback to learn? Did you let discouragement take over? If you answer these questions honestly, failure becomes a teacher rather than a dead end. Second part, why thought outweighs circumstances as the reason for their lack of progress. It's not circumstances that determine achievement, but the thoughts you hold about those circumstances. History is full of achievers who began with nothing, and equally full of people who had every advantage but failed because their thinking wasn't aligned with action. A practical exercise, achievement audit. Allen's philosophy is simple, but not always easy. To apply it, take time this week to do an achievement audit. 1. Write down your main goal. 2. List the thoughts you've had about it in the past month. 3. Mark which thoughts encouraged action and which slowed you down. 4. Replace unhelpful thoughts with ones that drive persistence and clarity. This small exercise can shift the trajectory of your results. Mid-chapter recap. Achievement starts in the mind, not in external conditions. Clarity, steadfastness, and self-discipline are essential mental traits. Persistence turns obstacles into stepping stones. Circumstances matter less than your thoughts about them. Closing of chapter. Allen's conclusion is unshakable. If you want greater achievement, you must first become a greater thinker. Strengthen your mental habits. Direct your thoughts toward your goal, and let no setback convince you to stop. In doing so, you'll discover that achievement is not a matter of luck, but of mental law. Chapter 6. Visions and Ideals. The dreamers are the saviors of the world. James Allen. Every major achievement begins as an idea in someone's mind. James Allen reminds us that the greatest contributions to humanity, from scientific discoveries to works of art, were once visions held by individuals who refused to let those visions die. This chapter is about the power of nurturing high ideals and letting them shape your life. A. The power of a vision. A vision is more than a daydream. It is a picture of a future reality so compelling that it guides your actions in the present. While circumstances change and challenges arise, a true vision remains steady, like a lighthouse guiding a ship through the storm. Modern example: space exploration. Think of the Apollo moon landing in 1969. 8 years earlier, President John F. Kennedy announced the vision: land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth. At the time, the U.S. had barely sent anyone into space. Yet that vision inspired thousands of scientists, engineers, and astronauts to dedicate themselves to a single bold goal. And they made it happen. All right. The role of ideals. Allen explains that ideals are the moral compass of your vision. A vision without high ideals can be dangerous. It may lead to selfish or destructive ends. But a vision built on integrity, service, and excellence uplifts not only the dreamer, but also the world around them. In other words, what you aim for matters, but why you aim for it matters even more. Guarding your vision. Visions are fragile in their early stages. They can be easily killed by criticism, doubt, or a lack of faith. Allen warns that many people abandon their dreams not because they are impossible, but because they surrender them too soon. To protect your vision, keep it private until it is strong enough to withstand criticism. Surround yourself with people who encourage rather than discourage. Remind yourself daily why the vision matters. You are tuned in distinction, idea. Malala Yousafzai's vision was simple but powerful. Every girl should have the right to education, even after surviving an assassination attempt, eventually becoming the youngest Nobel Prize laureate in history. Her vision, rooted in the ideal of equality, was stronger than fear, and it changed the world. From vision to reality, Alan emphasizes that holding a vision is not enough. It must be backed by consistent effort. The most beautiful dream is wasted without action. Think of vision as the seed and effort as the water and sunlight. Without care, the seed withers. With steady nurturing, it grows into something that can bear fruit for years to come. Why many lose their vision? Some people start with big dreams, but give them up when progress is slow. Alan reminds us, a great vision often requires years, even decades, to fully manifest. Those who give up early lose not because the vision was impossible, but because their patience ran out before the results arrived. A practical exercise, strengthening your vision. 1. Write it down. Describe your ideal life or achievement in clear, vivid detail. 2. Identify the values behind it. Ask yourself, why does this matter to me? 3. Visualize daily. Spend a few minutes each morning picturing the outcome and feeling the emotions connected to it. 4. Take one step. Each day, do something, however small, that moves you closer to making the vision real. A picture is the mental picture of a better future. Ideals guide the moral direction of your vision. Early visions need protection from doubt and criticism. Action and patience are essential for bringing a vision to life. Closing of chapter. Alan leaves us with this encouragement. Cherish your visions. Cherish your ideals, for they are the blueprints of your ultimate achievements. Even if the world doubts you, hold your dream close, because the world has always been moved forward by those who dared to see what others could not. Chapter 7. Serenity. Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. James Allen. In this final chapter, James Allen brings us to the highest reward of disciplined thought, serenity, a state of unshakable calm, balance, and inner peace. Serenity is not simply the absence of trouble, it is the ability to remain composed no matter what is happening around you. The nature of serenity. Allen explains that serenity comes from understanding the laws of life and aligning yourself with them. When you know that every outcome is the result of causes, including your own thoughts, you stop reacting in panic and start responding with wisdom. Serenity is a sign of mastery. It means you have learned to govern your thoughts, and in doing so, you govern your emotions, your words, and your actions. Modern illustration. A pilot in turbulence. Picture an experienced airline pilot. When turbulence hits, they don't scream or make sudden wild movements. They follow procedures calmly, knowing the aircraft is built to handle rough air. Life works the same way. Turbulence will come, in relationships, in finances, in health. But the serene person knows that panic only makes the situation worse. Calm action, guided by clear thinking, is always more effective. Second, why serenity matters. In a noisy, fast-paced world, serenity gives you an advantage. It improves decision-making. It earns the trust of others. It protects your physical and mental health. When you are calm, you see reality more clearly. Stress and anxiety narrow your thinking. Serenity opens it. The source of serenity. Allen teaches that serenity is built on 1. Self-control, mastery over impulses and emotions. 2. Understanding, realizing that others act according to their knowledge and character, just as you do. 3. Compassion, responding to the mistakes of others with patience, not anger. These qualities grow slowly through daily practice in thought discipline. Over 7. Real-life example, Nelson Mandela. During his 27 years in prison, Nelson Mandela endured injustice and hardship without bitterness. When he was released, he chose reconciliation over revenge. His serenity wasn't weakness, it was strength, built through decades of self-control and a clear vision for his nation's future. Developing your own serenity. Alan's advice is timeless. Begin each day with a few moments of quiet reflection. Practice speaking more slowly and deliberately. Step back before reacting to criticism or conflict. Regularly remind yourself, this too shall pass. Like a muscle, serenity grows stronger the more you use it. Serenity in leadership and influence. Calm leaders inspire confidence. In business, sports, or politics, people naturally follow those who remain composed in difficult moments. Your serenity can steady the emotions of everyone around you. For example, in high-stress emergency rooms, the most respected doctors are often those who stay calm while making quick, life-saving decisions. Their energy stabilizes the entire team. The link between serenity and wisdom. Alan describes serenity as the outward expression of inner wisdom. The wise person does not get carried away by temporary success or crushed by temporary failure. They understand that life moves in cycles, seasons of growth, challenge, harvest, and rest. Because they accept this rhythm, they neither cling to the good nor fear the bad. They remain centered, knowing that change is constant. Mid-chapter recap. Serenity is not avoiding problems, but facing them with composure. It grows from self-control, understanding, and compassion. Calmness improves decision-making and builds influence. True serenity is the visible sign of inner wisdom. Final thoughts from Alan. Alan writes, "The calm man, having learned how to govern himself, knows how to adapt himself to others." This is the ultimate achievement of thought mastery, the ability to live peacefully, to contribute positively to the world, and to meet every circumstance, whether joyful or painful, with grace. Serenity is not given by luck or by the absence of hardship. It is earned through patient self-discipline, clear vision, and a steadfast commitment to living by your highest ideals. Closing the book. With serenity, you become like a still lake, reflecting life without distortion. People will feel it when they are around you, a quiet strength that reassures and inspires. And so, as a man thinketh ends where it began, with the truth that your thoughts shape your reality. Nurture thoughts of strength, compassion, and purpose, and you will live not only with success, but with the rare gift of enduring peace.